CNN just broke the news to its viewers. Hillary Clinton rigged the election. Video. Liberals are now in total panic. CNN finally admitted on live TV in front of the entire nation that their patron saint, Hillary Clinton, rigged the election. It was a stunning moment to see how CNN turns against Hillary Clinton. Now the Clinton News Network is slowly changing the narrative. Now everybody's very well aware what the true Russian collusion is and who is the nominee who committed a voter fraud and rigged the election. The CNN is definitely changing the narrative. Now they finally started reporting about how Hillary Clinton rigged the election from Bernie Sanders. This comes right after Donna Brazile revealed the truth about the DNC and how Clintons controlled the Democratic Party like it's their own private property. CF reported how CNN is slowly becoming a news network instead of being a sad reality show. CNN anchor Brooke Baldwin felt as if a bone was stuck in her throat, but she spilled the beans on every shady move Hillary was up to before even being nominated by the respective committee. This means Clinton pulled all the strings on robbing Bernie Sanders off his campaign, which he conducted with blood, sweat, and tears to no avail. This is how Twitter Moments is covering it. CNN Chiron states that Clinton robbed the nomination from Sanders. Brazile came forward with the narrative on Thursday during her book promotion. She also claims to be equipped with viable proof to support her rhetoric. Donna Brazile turns on them all, slams Debbie Obama for running party into the ground, giving Hillary control. President Trump recently spoke with Laura Ingraham and expressed that he felt it was very unfair, quote, for Sanders to have been backstabbed in such a manner. Sanders' ex-campaign manager Jeff Weaver concluded that it had been Sanders who spoke the truth all along as far as the primaries were concerned. What do you think about this swing? CNN guarded Hillary's back for so long, but this time they couldn't hold it anymore. Anyway, it's a good for a change to see this. CNN's reputation is completely ruined, and if they still continue to ignore the major breaking news of the day, they will put themselves even in a worse position and start losing huge profits. They already started. Is this the end of Hillary Clinton and her influence on CNN? Well, this means that Hillary has no power anymore. She is defeated. Donna Brazile and Senate committees just gave her the lethal hit. This is a good chance for the CNN to change their narrative and become a normal news outlet, if that's even possible. No, that's not possible, but the rats are leaving the sinking ship, so to speak.
All right, and we're back. We're going to come back to taxes in just a second. One of the biggest names in the Democratic Party is making a stunning revelation today, claiming the Hillary Clinton campaign
Notice the sound is low.
The funding operations of the Democratic National Committee an entire year before she was even chosen as the party's nominee. Former DNC chairwoman Donna Brazile says she made a promise to Bernie Sanders to investigate claims of favoritism within the DNC, and she now has proof. So she writes, quote, I at last found the document that described it all, the joint fundraising agreement between the DNC, the Hillary Victory Fund, and Hillary for America. Specified that in exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised. I had to keep my promise to Bernie. I was in agony as I dialed him. Hello, Senator. I've completed my review of the DNC, and I did find the cancer, I said, but I will not kill the patient. During the primary, Sanders and his campaign frequently accused the DNC of favoring his opponent. Here's a look back.
Individual leaders of the DNC can support Hillary Clinton in any way they want. but they are not going to sabotage our campaign, one of the strongest grassroots campaigns in modern history.
I do believe that we have to replace the Democratic National Committee leadership. Yeah, I know political parties need money, but it is more important that we have energy, that we have young people, that we have working class people who are going to participate in the political process.
There's no question to my mind, and I think no question to any objective observer's mind, that the DNC was supporting Hillary Clinton, was in opposition to our campaign.
So with me now to respond to this revelation, Jeff Weaver. He is the former campaign manager for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Jeff Weaver, welcome back.
Thanks, Brooke. Nice to be here.
All right, so as we heard, you guys all along there were raising the alarm bells throughout the campaign. Did you know the extent of this deal between Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC? Did you know the extent of that deal?
I don't think, Brooke, that we knew the full scope of the deal. Certainly, we did not know about the contractual control that the Clinton campaign had over, for instance, DNC hiring and being able to veto a certain staff. But it was certainly clear, however, that back as early as April, when we filed a protest with the DNC that Hillary Clinton and the DNC were engaged in a joint fundraising agreement that appeared, at least on its face, to be skirting federal election law and was highly improper, given that there was a contested primary going on. And I think, given that there is, as you may know, a Unity Reform Commission that is comprised of people appointed by Bernie Sanders, appointed by Hillary Clinton, that came out of the Democratic National Convention, that is now drafting a series of reforms for the party, it is important to move forward and to adopt those reforms, to open up the primary process, to deal with superdelegates, to deal with transparency, accountability, and democracy of the DNC. We have got to move forward, Brooke, and we have got to deal with these issues so that we can beat Trump in 2020.
I hear you on moving forward, but hang on, because we got to talk about what what happened. And Donna Brazile says, yes, while this was difficult news for her to learn, she says what they did was not illegal. Do you agree with that?
Well, it's not clear whether it's, I'm not going to get into the legality of it, but I will say this. It was quite courageous on Donna Brazile's part to bring these revelations to the public. I'm sure she has fallen off the Christmas card list of a number of people. But she is a courageous woman, and I do know, there was some, obviously a flap during the campaign regarding the debates and what have you, but I'm going to tell you this, that when Donna Brazile took over as interim chair at the DNC, she really did try to clean house there. She really did try to make it the type of party structure that all of us can be proud of. And I have to say that, the revelations that she released today, I think demonstrate the strength of her character and her willingness to go against the status quo, to make the party ultimately stronger. And that's the job we have ahead of us.
Had this deal, though, that's Donna. What about the country? Had this deal not been struck, Jeff, do you think that America might have seen a different outcome?
Well, Brooke, that's impossible to know, but as you remember, because you covered the race quite closely, there was time after time when the DNC interfered in the process. The debate schedule was rigged, the number of debates and when they were, that was certainly rigged. These joint fundraising agreements were improper and really looted the DNC and the state parties of funding. You'll remember in the clip you just showed when the chair of the DNC stripped us of the data that we had collected from with our own volunteers and for which we had paid the DNC $250,000. You'll remember the false charges that came out of the Nevada convention where the DNC chair was talking about chairs being thrown when, of course, no chairs were being thrown. So you had this pattern over and over and over again, and then the revelation that DNC top staff conspired to attack Senator Sanders on his religion, which is something that's a disgusting thing that should never happen in the Democratic Party. But I will tell you this, had the election been different, if Bernie Sanders had won the primary and caucus season, there is no doubt that he would have defeated Donald Trump.
Do you think that Hillary Clinton should apologize to Bernie Sanders because of this?
Well, look, I'm not really.
Yes or no, Jeff?
No, I'm not going to live in the past. This is not about apologies. This is about reform. There's a Unity Reform Commission. We will get unity through reform, and if we don't have reform, I don't think we'll have unity. And so I think there's a lot on the shoulders of the Unity Reform Commission, on the current chair of the party, and other party leaders to turn this into a grassroots party and not a party dominated by elites who are trying to rig the system behind the scenes. That's what we have to accomplish.
I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing words about unity and reform and beating Donald Trump, in the next election. And I am frankly surprised. I mean, you gave your blood, sweat, and tears. We talked so many times during this campaign. I am frankly surprised that you are not angrier about this.
Oh, I'm angry, Brooke. There's no doubt about that I'm angry. But look, ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to love the country more than you love whatever personal slight or engaging in whatever personal slight's been leveled against you. And this, the behavior the DNC engaged in was egregious, undemocratic, and it can't be allowed to happen again. But look, we cannot leave this country in the clutches of an administration that is not only incompetent, but that is targeting working families, people of color, LGBT community, women, and other marginalized communities. That is the goal ahead of us. But let me tell this to the elites who today still control much of the Democratic Party apparatus. If you do not open up the party, if you do not allow the people in, if you do not advocate for the types of reforms that we need, you will be destroying the opportunity we have to take on Donald Trump.
I have to tell you, in prepping for the segment, we reached out to a lot of the, Hillary Clinton campaign people. Hillary Clinton, through a spokesperson, declined to comment. The former Clinton campaign manager, Robbie Mook, was part of that. And we also reached out to former DNC chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz. They haven't responded, to us at all for comment whatsoever. Shocking. Okay. I feel the sarcasm all over your face. And just lastly, I was at Bernie rallies. I talked to these young people, and I'm just wondering what is your message to young people? You were talking to the elites within the Democratic Party, but what about your message to young people who are thinking, why bother go out and vote if the system is rigged?
Well, that is the problem when you have this type of behavior, that it helps destroy the faith that people have in the political process. But we live in a democracy, and I think what you saw with Bernie Sanders in the 2016 election, got 43% of the delegates, massive changes in the platform of the Democratic Party, and that was in an environment where it was rigged. Imagine if we can bring out more young people, if we can take back our party so that we can take back our country. That is possible, but people have to stay engaged. I understand that it's very easy to get discouraged, to try to back away from the political process, but now more than ever, people have to be engaged.
Okay, Jeff Weaver, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brooke.
There you have it, folks. They admitted it. But they're not going to be able to defeat Donald Trump because they have no message. They cannot beat Trump in 2020 if he decides to run again. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.